All right. Apparently I'm live. Never done this before, so we'll see what happens. Give it a minute, see if anybody joins in. Turn my light up a little bit. We'll see how this works. So I guess I should start by giving my usual intro, which is hello and welcome to another episode of Geared Toward Gear. My name is Sean, and I am so glad you're here. I just felt like doing a video. It's been a while, and wanted to do a little bit of a EDC update for 2022. So hopefully the audio and visuals are coming through okay. Not sure if they are, but we'll find out. If anybody jumps in here, I can have them validate whether or not the audio and video is coming through. So we shall see. All right. I'll give it a minute, see if anyone jumps in, which is probably unlikely considering it's been going on, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months since I've uploaded anything. So I wouldn't expect a lot of participation. Okay, Nick, so you said you can hear me? Audio's coming through okay? Excellent. Appreciate that. First time doing the live, and so I figured, having been so long since I've done any videos, rather than doing sort of the tabletop cell phone recording and then uploading, it's kind of a pain in the ass, frankly, to do it that way. So I figured um, I'll just do it live, camera facing me, which is not typically how I do it, but um, figured that would be easiest for everybody involved. So we'll give another minute for anyone else to jump in, and then we'll get into the EDC update for 2022. Bill, what's going on, man? Welcome, Australia. Nice. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've posted a video, and my EDC's changed up a little bit during that time. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of chat a little bit and share kind of some of the things I've been carrying lately, and yeah, just kind of chit chat with anybody who might be around. So that is the plan. All right. So for those that are here, Nick, Bill, what are you guys carrying these days? What are you? What's your go-to EDC lately? And while you're thinking, I'll start sharing a couple of mine. So I kind of disappeared for a long time. So for those that have followed this channel for any length of time, or maybe if you follow me on Instagram, I got off social media completely probably 6 months ago. Uh, Instagram, Facebook, not on any of that any longer. And so I'm not really, I haven't been, I should say, super engaged with the community outside of a few kind of close friends that I have in the community. And we talk via text message constantly. And so I'm still talking about gear and EDC stuff with them. And I'm also, of course, getting like the marketing emails from different manufacturers, distributors, retailers. And so I'm still involved in the hobby, certainly, and still getting some information coming through, but I'm not getting the social media blast of information, which has actually kind of been a good thing. I've just been busy with work and family life, and being a dad and all that stuff, so just haven't had as much time to dedicate to social media, and certainly not to YouTube. So that's sort of what I've been up to here lately. Um, so as far as my EDC for 2022, the first thing I'll share, and this is nothing new. I did a video on this bag, um, I don't know, 8 months ago, and it is the vanquest dendrite size large. It's a fanny pack, which I tend to wear over my shoulder. I don't wear it as a fanny pack, but I wear it over the shoulder, or I wear it on the chest. Been rocking this thing for like 10 months and still love it. And I may actually do another video here in the near future where I actually break this thing down and go over my actual EDC that's in this bag. The video I did previously was just talking about the bag, not as much about the contents. So that is the first thing that has not changed, and that is the vanquest, large dendrite, fanny pack, sling pack, bum bag, whatever the hell you want to call it. Joe, man, it is. I haven't seen you or heard your name or seen your name in so long, but it's awesome to hear from you. So thank you so much for jumping on, man. I hope you and the wife are doing fantastic. Hey, what's going on? Women carrying knives is in the house. Christine, it has been a while. Thanks for jumping on. It's fantastic to see you here. Um, so yeah, as far as EDC is concerned, I've kind of evolved. It actually probably devolved, I guess, in my EDC over the last say 8 to 10 months, in which I've sort of got my like safe queens that I've collected over the years and haven't really been purchasing any um, higher end knives in quite a long time. As a matter of fact, the last knife I bought, which is right here, this was bought in July of last year, and this is see if we can get the focus on that. Um, a large Sebenza 31 with dual thumb lugs in all silver hardware. So I bought this in July. Did I say June or July? June or July of 2021. So it's been months since I've made any knife purchases. This is the last one I bought. So I'm not really buying knives much anymore. And again, that's for a couple reasons. One, I kind of have like the nicer knives that I want, and I really kind of just dialed in the ones that I like to carry most often. And after trying hundreds of knives over the course of several years, I just gravitated to the same ones over and over again, and that's just kind of what I carry now. Yeah, Christine, been well, been fantastic. Super busy with work, but it's been going fantastic. Wife and kids are great. Everyone's healthy. Peter, man, it is great just to see your name there and your logo is so fantastic. Can't tell you how happy I am to see you and Christine here and Joe and Bill and everybody else. So that's so awesome. So yeah, July of 2021 was the last knife that I purchased. I still have a lot of my like favorite um like more sought after knives. Like I got a couple of these guys, the Oz Machine Company, Roosevelt, a couple, Koenigs and Shiros, and just things that I wanted for a long time, and I got, and just decided I don't need any more. So I'm just going to kind of stick with what I have. So what have I been carrying lately? Basically, 4 knives is what I carry. Not I don't carry 4 knives at a time, but I have 4 knives basically that I carry. Everything else is just kind of stuff for the collection that occasionally will open a package, but doesn't often get carried. So what I'm carrying primarily are the Spyderco Native 5. This has been a favorite of mine for a very long time. This particular one is in S90V. It came with teal scales. I dyed those black. And the Native 5 is just a fantastic knife that I adore. So Native 5 gets carried often. This one has a MXG gear deep carry clip, so carry that frequently. The next one is the Spyderco Sage 5 lightweight, which I have said in the past is, in my opinion, the single best EDC knife that Spyderco has ever created. I love this thing. So I carry the Sage 5 lightweight pretty pretty frequently, maybe more so than any other knife. So Native 5 and Sage 5. Third on the list is the Benchmade Bug Out. This is just kind of a straightforward version. It's like the CF Elite version, just with a different blade. It's got the gray blade from the GRY 535 GRY-1, and I really like it. So I kind of learned over the years of testing and reviewing and trying different knives that I really like something lightweight with a deep carry clip, and the bug out serves that role for me. The Native 5 certainly serves that role for me, and the Sage 5 serves that role for me. So three kind of lightweight, deep carry clip, just general purpose EDC knives. And then the other one that I carry a lot is a Chris Reeve Knives Sebenza 21. And this is one that I've had for quite a long time. Not used to using this camera, so I apologize if I can't get the focus right. This is a Tanto, which no, that's my 31. This is my Sebenza 21 Tanto that I've carried a significant amount, and I really like it. So this one gets a pretty. That looks pretty pretty bad in that view, but it gets a lot of use. Really like the Tanto on the Sebenza 21. So those four knives, the three sort of more lightweight ones, and the Sebenza are the four knives that I carry probably more than anything else. Um, and I just don't really have any desire lately to try anything else. Um, so those have been just kind of my go-to. I do like with my fancier stuff. Like here's a Chiragorov uh, F3NS. This is in the um, carbon plate, blue carbon fiber. Uh, Gorgeous knife. Love everything about it. Um, but it's primarily a just kind of sit on the shelf, look pretty, and I take it out frequently when I'm working. I work right here in my home office, and I flip it and close it and flip it and close it. And I'll occasionally open packages, with some of my higher end stuff. But as far as what goes in the pocket, I've kind of just dialed it into what I really like. And I'm not super interested in trying new things because once you've tried, I think, enough variations of different blade shapes and styles and designs and manufacturers, you can almost look at a knife on, Blade HQ and just kind of know I'm either going to hate it, I'm going to love it, or maybe I'll like it, but it's not anything that's like really calling my name. And so I just have kind of stuck with those. As far as flashlights, I do want to talk about flashlights for a hot second. It's kind of the same thing. I went through a phase with flashlights where I had hundreds, and Joe, if he's still here, can vouch for that. I had an ungodly number of flashlights, and I kind of just pared my collection down to just a handful. And what I carry more than anything is the Olight i3T EOS. Here's two different versions, the titanium on top. If I can get that to focus. Come on now, focus. And the black. So that's probably my most carried flashlight is the i3T EOS from Olight. I also do carry the mini pineapple from Raylight. Big fan of the mini pineapple there. See if I can get a focus shot. There we go. Raylight mini pineapple. And then recently, because I do still buy gear, I got the Ion from Dapper Design. This is a USB-C rechargeable, crazy, crazy bright. I got this one just about a week ago. Watched a couple of really awesome videos on YouTube about this light and had to have one. $60, fantastic. Dapper Designs Ion, and it's like 600 lumens max, USB-C rechargeable. So really digging the Ion. So again, a pretty small selection of lights that I actually carry, and they're all in a similar class, right? Like they're all basically AAA sized, um, pretty lightweight, easy to carry. They get the job done, and I'm pretty happy with them. So again, I'm not seeking out flashlights much these days. Here's one of the pens that I've been using a lot. and this is from can't think of the company. If you see the logo there, you'll probably know right offhand. Some of you will. Um, Not Urban. God damn, what's the name of that company? It's called like the Tie Click EDC, I think is the name of the pen. I think it's called the Tie Click EDC, and it's from Big Eye Design, Big Idea Designs. So that's just a ballpoint pen. It's in titanium, and I like it. It's a pen. Nothing too extravagant about that. But that's the pen that sits here on my desk that I use pretty frequently. This is also from Big Eye Designs. This is called, what do they call this? I can't remember, but it's basically a bit kit. And I use this thing constantly. You push up here and it exposes your bits. And I've just sort of customized the bits that I want in mine. And I've got basically all the torque sizes that I would need for knife maintenance, plus a couple slotted and a couple Phillips. So it's a pretty cool design. So yeah, that's kind of been in the rotation. Also, this Tyrant razor, this flipper utility knife. Did a review on this not too long ago, so still carry that from time to time. And then the classic Victorinox Pioneer, one of my favorite all-time knives, period. The Victorinox Pioneer. Love this thing. And that's basically it, right? So like a few flashlights, about 5 knives, pen, kind of a multi-tool type thing. Here's another little piece of kit I got recently. This is the Craft Form compact kit from Vera, and it's basically just a small bit driver that comes with several bits. And it opens like such, and you've got a selection of bits to choose from. Again, you got Torx, you got Phillips, you got slotted, and the driver just pops out the front here. So it's just a very compact, sort of wallet-sized way to carry a driver and some bits. So great for like an EDC bag or an EDC fanny pack in my case. So the Craft Form compact from Vera, these things are only like 12, 15 bucks, I think. So that's been a thing. And that's kind of it. Sort of all I've been carrying lately is just kind of that core group of EDC folders, a core group of EDC flashlights, my fanny pack, which again I'll probably do a video in the not too distant future to go through the contents of that. And Yeah, so that's kind of where I've been at lately. Again, as I mentioned, I actually, you know what? Let's see if I have anything in my pockets. EDC stuff in my pockets. I probably don't. Oh, I have a bandana. Been carrying just a regular, like old school cotton bandana. There's kind of a trick to get these things super, super soft, um, which without getting into it, it's basically boiling it and then ironing it. It's a whole thing, but there's videos on YouTube about that. But I've been carrying just a standard bandana for quite a while now. I'm going to kick this light up one more notch and see if that, whoops, see if that helps at all with the visuals. Um, what else do I have? Anything else in my pocket? This is the only other thing I have in my pocket, and this is a Rovi Vaughn Aurora A1 flashlight, the best keychain flashlight ever made, in my opinion. I did a full review on the Rovi Vaughn A1, and then this is just a little pill container. I personally happen to have a medication that I take daily, but it's taken like in the middle of the day, so it's not like a morning or evening thing. And so I just keep it on a keychain with the Rovi Vaughn, and that's typically in my pocket, my front pocket, and then the bandana goes in the back pocket, and that's mostly for wiping glasses, blowing noses, that kind of stuff. Actually, I had to use my bandana just about 2 days ago because I cut my thumb with with a with an axe. Not serious, but the bandana came in handy in that case. And then, of course, no EDC would be complete without a cell phone, which I've never been able to show ever before, because this is the first time I've ever done a video that was not recorded on my cell phone. So got that. So kind of got all my bases covered: phone, flashlight, folding knife, a couple little multi-tool type things between the Victorinox, the Big Eye Designs, little bit driver kit, um, a pen. Pretty standard, straightforward, not carrying a ton of stuff. Um, but yeah, actually, let's show a couple of other knives from my collection. Um, and these are, again, ones that are just sort of like safe queens, if you will. They sit in a cabinet that's just kind of off to my right. And I just flick them or flip them and play with them and open packages with them occasionally. Uh, this one happens to be a Shirogorov with fat carbon. This is the F95NL, and it's pretty fantastic. It's a frame lock, as you can see. Just unbelievable action, as you would expect from Shiro. I've got probably my personal like grail Arius is this one here in blue dust or blue marvel carbon fiber. This is a Gen 4. But again, this mostly just kind of sits in the cabinet, and it comes out from time to time to be played with and to open packages. But I still love it. Still have sort of my, again, sort of like my grail knives. Here's a Oz Roosevelt. This is one of the golf putter milling versions that I got when I got on his books. So that's pretty cool. And then I've got one more. This was like my true grail Roosevelt. This is number 99. It's got the side cut carbon fiber show side and a blasted lock side with um, man, I'm drawing a blank. Zirconium clip and pivot. So again, still got my kind of my favorites, but they just kind of sit around, and I'm content with my EDC. Here's my EDC watch that I'm wearing today. I'll take it off. Again, same thing with watches. Like I kind of went through a little bit of a phase with watches. I have a handful of ones that I just really like. And this is probably wear more than any, and it happens to be the least expensive. It is a Casio Duro. This one's in black, and it has an aftermarket bracelet on it. It's a $60 watch and like a $60 bracelet, so 120 bucks watch. But I really like it. So yeah, like I said, same kind of deal there. I just kind of have figured out what I like, what works best for me, and so kind of my search, my journey to find the perfect this or the perfect that, or kind of my deep dives into the various rabbit holes of leather products and flashlights and pry bars. That's kind of come to an end, right? That's kind of come and gone, and it was a fun journey, and I think um, a lot of us have gone down that journey or on that journey of sort of exploring everything that the world of EDC has to offer. And I've certainly had the good fortune to experience a lot of it. And yeah, just kind of decided I've been down the road long enough and have sort of found what works for me. But again, like I mentioned earlier, I still pay attention to kind of what's new, and I'm constantly browsing, but it kind of ends there. I mostly browse. I don't often pull the trigger and actually buy something. Did it, Joe? Did it almost bite me when I closed it? I think that's one of the risks of um, like this setup where I'm looking at the camera and I'm trying, like trying to make sure it's in frame or focused, and trying to make sure that, yeah, it's so different than just having the camera facing straight down on a table or something. So yeah, I didn't realize I almost bit myself, but I believe you. I definitely believe you. Um, yeah, right on. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't want to really have this go on too much longer. I know a lot of times these lives can go for hours and hours and hours, and I think I probably will do more videos in this format, just because frankly, it's a lot easier actually to just sit down, go live, and not have to worry about recording or doing any sort of editing and uploading. There's a couple sort of philosophy topics around EDC that are pretty fascinating to me that I want to cover. Um, One of them is kind of about the journey. Hey, Eric, sorry I missed you, and AJ. Um, Anyone else who jumped in who I missed, I apologize, but it's good to see y'all. Really, really good to see you. Um, so yeah, a couple sort of philosophy type things I want to go over, and then also some knives that I think might be worth doing just a quick kind of feature video about. And I would like to go through my EDC fanny pack, my vanquest dendrite. If you didn't see this at the beginning, this is my EDC fanny pack that I've been carrying for about, oh, I don't know, at this point I've probably been carrying this for about 10 months, I would say, and I love it. Which again kind of ended my search, my 10-year search for like the perfect EDC bag or EDC sling. I kind of found what's worked for me, and I'm not really looking to necessarily upgrade, but would definitely be interested in doing a video kind of showing the contents of what I carry in my EDC and kind of how that's evolved over time. And then I've got some medical kits, several medical kits that I've done in the last 6 to 12 months that have not been shown on the channel. Triple E, what's going on, bro? Thanks for jumping on, man. It's so bizarre, to be honest with you, having not posted a video in 7 months, 8 months, and to not be on social media, right? I'm not on Instagram, not on Facebook. To see like Peter, Christine, Triple E, Joe, Eric, like AJ, just seeing these people, it's really bizarre in a fantastic way. Had some time tonight to jump on and hang out. This is fantastic. Um, but yeah, so a bunch of medical stuff that I've done in the last several months that's never been shown, of course, that I think would be worth sharing. For those who don't know, I'm a licensed paramedic, so still really into the medical gear and kind of having those kits squared away. And those are always evolving. They have been for me, the medical stuff. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I've been, what I've been up to. Like I said, just super busy with work and life, and just haven't kind of made a conscious decision to not make social media a priority. There are times when I miss it, not for like the time that I spent, the minutes and hours that I spent on it, or even for the products and the gear, but really the people. Like that's the one thing, having gotten off of social media and having stopped uploading videos to YouTube, the thing that I miss, really the only thing that I miss, is the regular interaction with people, like Triple E and Christine and Peter and Joe. Um, so yeah, this is super fun, and I'll definitely probably plan on doing more of these. And I know with YouTube Live, and Christine, you could probably answer this uh, if you happen to know, but I'm pretty sure with these lives, like if another channel or another person or just anybody wanted to jump in and join, you could have multiple people. So that might be fun to do some stuff like that with some regularity, where we can have a couple of people jump in and have multiple screens, and and yeah, just kind of do a little bit of kind of EDC banter with some other people. I think that would be a lot of fun. So um, so I guess I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm back in that I don't have any intention of like posting videos with any regularity like I did once upon a time. Um, but from time to time I'll probably do things like this, or maybe throw up a review. Um, but it'll just be purely for fun, kind of when I have time. So For those that are still subscribed, and have stayed subscribed all this time, um, while I've not been uploading videos, first of all, thank you. That's extraordinarily kind, and I've gained subscribers somehow. I think I don't know what I'm at, because I haven't been on like my channel page in probably 6 months. Um, but yeah, it's cool that there's some still some people who've stuck around. Um, so yeah, if you want to stick around a bit longer, I'll probably post some more content in the near future. Um, Triple E just learned how to do thumbnails. That's awesome. I nailed the thumbnails pretty early on, but yeah, the live stuff, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I had no idea if this would even work, to be honest with you. Zoo. Zoo is my main man from Canada. This dude was probably one of my first, like, no shit, probably one of my first 20 subscribers. Zoo is like an OG subscriber of this channel, so it's awesome to see you, man. That's fantastic. And yes, I'm alive and well. Um, if the camera's shaky, I apologize. I'm realizing as I'm looking at my monitor, I have a really big monitor, and my foot keeps kicking my desk, and I can see my monitor shaking, which means you're probably seeing the camera shake. So I'll back up a little bit and try not to kick the desk, and that should help. Um, yeah, Jade, another blast from the past. Jade, holy shit! Again, it's very fun and interesting to see some of these people. Thanks so much for jumping on. Similar to Zoo, Jade was probably one of the first 20 or 50 subscribers to this channel way back in the day. And by way back in the day, I mean probably it was probably about 3 years ago. And I kind of did YouTube for maybe 2 years, and then had a year of mostly nothing. Um, but yeah, really cool to see some of the original um, group of subscribers, and just other friends in the community, other content creators that I've had the pleasure to meet and hang out with. So this is fun. This is fun for me. At this point, if you're watching this, especially tomorrow or anytime in the future, I imagine you would find this extraordinarily boring, because at this point I'm just talking and kind of interacting a little bit with the comments, not really showing anything, but that's okay, because again, I'm not like trying to do anything really here with this, other than just kind of hang out. So um, I kind of went through my EDC, what I've been carrying lately, kind of the fact that I've got it pretty dialed in and not really on the hunt for anything. Talked a little bit about my EDC fanny pack, and there will be some more videos in the future. Um, but if you're joining live right now, if you check a little later on once this uploads, which again, have no idea how that even works. Like once it's not live anymore, I imagine it takes a bit for it to upload. But if you go back to the very beginning, first probably 10 minutes, you'll see all the knives and flashlights and all the stuff that we looked at. So um, yeah. Yeah, so Eric, that's a good question. Blade Show Texas is a thing now. They used to do the ICE show, which was ICCE, International Custom Cutlery Exhibition. That's probably wrong, but it was ICE. And it was a kind of a smaller knife show that happened every year in Fort Worth, Texas, which is where I live, like 10 minutes from my house. Um, and that show, I don't think really ever quite gained the following, the attendance, both by knife community members, customers, or attendance from manufacturers and makers that they really hoped it would. And Blade has, I think, like kind of acquired that show. So now it's called Blade Texas. And I need to look it up. And one of the coolest things about this whole live thing is I can be, while I'm talking, I can be looking stuff up on my other screen. This is I don't know why I didn't do this 2 years ago. Because it's coming up very soon, if I'm not mistaken, unless I just missed it. Okay, no, it is coming up soon. March of this year, 100%. I mean, it's literally 10 minutes from my house. at a convention center. I can drive there and sleep in my own bed at night. So March 18th and March 19th in Fort Worth, Texas. Um, I will be, yeah, I'll be at Blade Show, Texas. Um, no shit, Christine, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there with Liang Ma. That is awesome. So, okay, is Peter gonna be there too? I mean, I always liked you better than Peter, so let's be honest. But yeah, I'll definitely come to you guys. Nice, Christine. That's awesome. I always hear just the best things about Liang, and just yeah, I always hear great things. A rebladed 940, razor edge knives. I'm trying to think if that's who I think it is. Is Eric, is it like a is it a thumb hole? Like a much taller blade than the factory 940 blade with the thumb hole? Anyway, any 940 reblade that I've ever seen has looked unbelievable. Um, they always look great. Um, yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. Triple E or I don't know who first brought up the Blade show. I think it was Triple E, or maybe it was Eric. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I will absolutely be there. Um, March 18th and March 19th. I'll probably be there both days. Like I said, it's right down the road, and I know all the spots. I'm not a big partier, but I know all the spots, and it's in a really cool part of Fort Worth, kind of the historic what they call the Fort Worth stockyards. A lot of cool bars, a lot of great restaurants. Great if you want a good steak, man, you can get some legit steaks and barbecue and stuff like that. So it'll be a great time for anybody that's never been to Fort Worth. Um, you'll like it. It's in a very cool area. Um, so yeah, yeah, everyone loves Liang except that I don't know if the guy you're referring to is the same one I'm thinking of, but there was a guy who did a series of videos. I don't know, maybe a year ago. Just it was a battle basically between this one douchebag and Liang about some knives. And I just remember being like, why is this a thing? And everyone that I personally knew, like that I knew personally, who had had interactions with Liang personally, had like nothing but just the nicest, most gracious things to say about him. But I do remember that like drama. Um, and then speaking of drama, this is so dumb, and this is one of the things I hate about this community. Right as I was getting off of social media, I don't even know the details, nor do I honestly care if I'm being candid with you. But something was happening with Slicey Dicey. I don't think his channel's around anymore. I haven't checked. Maybe it is, but I know there's a bunch of stuff with that, and it just thinking back on it now, kind of where I am with my current perspective on the EDC community and stuff like that. I find it kind of silly. Um, but yeah, again, I don't know any of the details, and definitely don't want to stir up anything that's old news at this point, which I'm sure that is. Um, but yeah, we definitely need to get together at Blade Show Texas. I feel like we got to think of a better name for it than just Blade Show Texas. Like I don't know, we got to think of something epic. Like Blade Show West. People always just call it like Blade West. They kind of drop the word show. They just call it Blade West or Blade. Like the primary Blade show in Atlanta is always just referred to as Blade. We got to think of a better way to refer to Blade Show Texas. Um, yeah, no, that's I know that about you, Peter. You and Christine have always been a pretty drama-free uh, place to hang out. So I'm gonna take a sip of my Coca-Cola here. You know, as I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I've ever handled. I don't know that I've ever handled any of Liang's more recent designs. I've got a few buddies that own like every one of his more recent designs. Like what's the KUF kitchen utility folder, I think. See, I'm not totally out of the loop. I still pay a little bit of attention. Um, but I've heard great things. So if he's going to be there, I'll definitely be interested in checking out some of his stuff. And it's going to be very tempting for me as somebody who's as I mentioned early on in the video or in the live for those that haven't been here long. The last time I bought a knife was July of 2021, and it was this uh, Sebenza 31 with silver hardware and dual thumb lugs, which I think is kind of a must on a Sebenza. But anyway, that was the last time I bought a knife. July, almost 7 months. Which, for those that have known me from way back, and I know most of you can attest to this, I used to buy 7 knives a week, 10 knives a week easily, and most of them I kept. Like I had a few hundred knives. Now I have about 20, maybe 25. So the fact that I have not bought a knife in 7 months is pretty pretty crazy uh, by some people's standards. So, um, but yeah, I just kind of I like what I like. Earlier I showed kind of my most carried go-to knives lately, um, which are the Sage 5 lightweight, the Native 5 lightweight, the Bug Out, the Sebenza 21, and that's really it. Those four is basically what I carry 99% of the time. It's one of those four knives. So yeah. Yeah, man, you have brought shame to your family. You know what I realized about the double lug is that it's not because of like the reverse flick thing, because it's not a reverse flick kind of knife, right? A Sebenza is definitely it's a slow roll knife in my opinion. But and I did injure my thumb recently, but I like being able to slow roll it with my left hand. And that's all I do with it is just slow roll it with my left hand. So I like that option. But in reality, single lug is fine. Uh, yeah, no shame to your family. I'll let it go this time. Um, Jade slowed down on knives. Yeah, yeah. Gun stuff. I don't know the rules on YouTube, but I'm gonna open my safe. I have a biometric safe right here. Um, this has been my EDC for the last, I don't know, year probably. The P365 XL. There we go. That's been my primary EDC um, in a T5 custom Kydex holster. Um, oh shit, probably shouldn't have done that, Peter. I should have read the comments before I did that. No guns on lives, don't do it. Yep, he did. He did. He did it. I'll edit that out and just put like a picture of like a squirt gun or something. Um, so yeah, that's about it. I haven't bought a knife in 7 hours. Yeah, man, you need to get your act together and find something to buy, Peter. That's a long time. Sebenza 31 small, Thunderbird double lug, and S45 EN. I'm not familiar with the Thunderbird, Ethan. Um, my large. I also have a small. Um, actually, I'll just grab it. It's right here. I have sort of a father and son, I guess, the kind of matching set, the large and the small 31, both with silver hardware, both double lugs, and both an S45 VN. Here's the small. I bought them at the same time. These are the ones I bought in July of last year. They came with blue hardware and a single lug, and just sent them straight to CRK. I had them put the dual lugs in and send them right back. So actually, I probably bought them in like May or June and like got them back from CRK in July. Um, but okay, so the Thunderbird is one of their what they call it, CG, computer generated graphic, CGG models. Nervous about pulling the trigger on the small Sebenza 31. I just want it to be perfect, and I'm nervous. I'll tell you what, man. I have owned about 15 Sebenzas, and there are Sebenzas that are not perfect. They are not. I personally like them. I do think they're a bit overpriced, but I will say this: you are not guaranteed some specimen just because you order a CRK. Like, I've owned and handled and seen a number of Chris Reeve knives that have questionable centering, have horrible action. Um, it's not um, it's not a guarantee of perfection, I guess is my point. Their quality control is quite good. Um, and I would feel confident telling anybody, hey, like, buy a Sebenza, you're probably going to get a good one, but um, they are not without fault. That's for sure. Um, yeah, and the lockup is I have owned personally one. It actually wasn't a Sebenza; it was an Nkosi, but I have owned a Chris Reeve knife that did not have good lockup. Like, it was terrible. It had lock rock, and I've had a few that had uh, the lockup at like 100%, which really is not the end of the world, to be honest with you. But that's the biggest variance that I've ever seen in a company, is the lockup, how early or late it is. So here's my 31, and this is pretty late lockup by some people's standards. I don't particularly care. It's solid. It doesn't move. It works for me. It hasn't traveled at all during the time I've owned it. My Sebenza 21 is a bit earlier, um, but still, by some people's standards, might call that late. It's probably 50%. Solid as a rock. And then, like, my small locks up way, it's just weird. Like, some Chris Reeve knives lock up at like 15%, others are damn near 100%. So that is kind of odd that there's a lot of variance that I've personally seen in how early or late the lockup is. Having said that, it's never been, except for one occasion where there was some lock rock. In most cases, it has not impacted the strength of the lockup, nor has it moved. But it's just, to spend that much money on a knife, you'd think that with how good their quality control typically is, that the lockup would be pretty close to the same. But it's not. Um, yeah, Jade, you make a good point. I think we're so spoiled now. Like, let me grab something that's semi comparable. Okay, so here's, geez, throwing knives, literally throwing knives. Um, this is a CKF, or Custom Knife Factory Evo 2.0. This one's in the carbon fiber, with sort of like the tree bark milling. Like, the design, the execution, the blade grind, the materials, the action. My goodness. I mean, everything about this knife, in my opinion, is superior. Well, it's subjective, but you could argue that this knife is superior in some ways than, to compare to the Sebenza. And you could argue that things about the Sebenza are superior to the CKF. Um, but when you have things like this that you can get, for about the same price, of course, now these things have gone up, but there was a time when you could get this for, or maybe the plain Thai version for $500. Like most people would say, why the hell would you buy a Sebenza when you could buy something like this? And I get it. I totally get it. I think at the price, there's a lot of other very attractive stuff out there that could leave somebody feeling underwhelmed by CRK. Um, but to your point, Triple E, I have learned to appreciate the sort of the intent of the design of a Sebenza. And like this one, my Sebenza 21 Tonto, um, it's it flicks open pretty easily. It drops to my thumb. From there, it doesn't drop at all. But it's worked in quite a bit and and has great action. So you just have to temper your expectations for what type of knife is it? Is it something that's running on washers with super tight tolerances, or is it something like the Evo that's running on bearings and is designed to just be this, I mean, just like stupid guillotine drop shutty. I mean, this is a satisfying knife to play with for sure, in a way that the Sebenza is not. But it's yeah, different strokes for different folks for sure. Let's see. Yeah, the Evo 2.0s are pretty sick. I've got another one that's the like the dark titanium with the Zircuti clip, which probably won't do justice on the video unless I can get it to focus just right, which I probably won't be able to. But it's just unbelievably well done. These things are the plain tie and the CF. Yeah, I've got one of those like ring lights. I use it for conference calls at work. Maybe not ideal for this, but hopefully you can see what I am sharing. Yeah, Zoo, good to see you too, man. Yeah, get some sleep. It's late for you. It's late for me too. It's 11:42 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. Definitely past my bedtime, but it's all good. Actually, it's not. I'm always up this late. Um, yeah. So I guess maybe the last thing I'll say is that I've got 3 knives on pre-order, and these are knives that I ordered before I bought the Sebenza. So these were back during the summer. One of them is the uh, so my buddy, um, for those of you that um, watch Bearded Gear, Jake, good buddy of mine, he helped design a knife called the Avant through a company that he and his buddy started called Luft Concepts. It's being built by Riot. I actually have no idea what the status of that project is. I knew it wouldn't be till 2022, but I was in on that pre-order, so eventually I will get a Luft Concepts Avant. If anybody happens to know what the status is on that particular project, I'd love to know, but I'm not in any rush. So I can be patient and wait as long as it takes for that knife to come. Um, Blade banter, David. My gosh, good lord, it's good to see you. Yeah, it's been a while. And if you're going to be at Blade Show Texas, uh, I will be there. It's 10 minutes from my house. I was talking to Christine and Peter about this earlier. So, David, if you're going to be in Texas for Blade Show, let's hang out. That'd be awesome. So yeah, I've got the Left Concepts Avant on pre-order, and then I also pre-ordered, and I don't know if I'm going to do anything with this. Triple E, maybe you can give me some advice on this because I know you're familiar with these. I pre-ordered 2 of the CKF Evo 3.0s. So those pre-orders opened last summer for basically a slightly larger version of the 2.0, closer in size to the 1.0. Pre-ordered 2 of those. Um, and when it comes time to pay my balance, I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to drop another 600-700 bucks per knife for 2 more of this basic, this same design. Um, so I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, other than those couple that I have on pre-order, nothing really coming in the pipeline for me. Um, yeah, David, it would be fun, Uh, the former ICE show, ICCE show, is now Blade Show Texas, as I'm sure you know. But it's in March, so um, yeah, if you want to come, it'll be a good time. All right. Well, we are looking right. We're about 55 minutes, so just under an hour. I think is probably a good time to shut her down. But this has been a lot of fun for me. Um, a lot of fun for me to just chit chat a little bit, show a few things, and talk to you all. It's been great. So expect some more of these in the future. Again, don't expect maybe any specific cadence or regularity to it. Just kind of as they come, they come. But I do have a couple ideas for some content that I'd like to put out there at some point in the not too distant future. Um, so yeah, thanks everybody for joining. As I mentioned in the beginning, as I was showing some things, I do have a video plan to kind of break down my EDC fanny pack, the vanquest dendrite, and talk through the contents of that in a little more detail. That'll probably be tabletop. I think that'll just make more sense for laying everything out. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I think we can call it good on this one. Call it a night. I know for a lot of us, it's getting late, but everybody who's here, who joined, Zoo, Jade, David, Peter, Christine, Eric, Triple E, Molinlabe, and C in the house, AJ. Um, yeah, fantastic to just seeing your names in the little chat just warms my heart. It really does. So I really appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you guys are well. I hope everybody is safe and or stays safe. Um, and yeah, hang in there. Be well. Be kind. And we'll talk again. Hopefully, it won't be 7 months until my next video, but who knows? We'll see. So thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it. Love you all. And I'll talk to you soon. Adios.